What's up, you guys? It's your girl Lulu, and I'm back with another video. This is gonna be something different today. I just wanted to bring the things that I know about this topic and I know about this situation, because it might happen to you. This is I really babbled between making this video or not, because I really just don't like talking about this situation because it was very emotional to me. But I just want to tell girls like out there, like, sometimes pregnancy is not all peaches and cream, and sometimes you just don't have a smooth sailing pregnancy. And if you did, then girl, kudos to you. And if you just had a baby, congratulations. And if you're pregnant right now, I don't want to discourage you, because this might not happen to you, but I'm just saying it could happen. I don't want to discourage people from not having kids and all this type of stuff like that, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm just simply here trying to tell people like this can happen, because I was not knowledge and I didn't have nobody to tell me that these things can happen, and it happened to me. So we're just gonna jump into that video right now, because I don't want to be talking forever for 30 minutes on this video just about nothing before I even get into the story. So we're gonna do that now. So first of all, I got pregnant, and I found out I was pregnant in May 2019. Right after that, a couple months fast forward, my whole pregnancy, it was smooth sailing. Like, it was good. Like, I felt like it was the most healthiest, and I was the most happiest person in this pregnancy, because I had 2 previous pregnancies before this one, and they went by like flying colors. It wasn't easy with my sons like it was with my daughters. So I thought, okay, this is nothing. I'm gonna do the dang on thing. It's gonna be, I'm sorry. This gonna be easy, and everything seems like I'm healthy and I'm fine. Everything seems like it's gonna be all right. So jump forward, I get 28 weeks. So I turned 28 weeks in the middle of, I think, my 28 weeks. I think I was 28 weeks to like 3 or 4 days, or whatever the case might be. And I came home from work, and I did a couple of errands before I came home, like picked my son up, my 5-year-old son, for pre-K, and I went to Target, and I got a couple like Christmas decoration and whatnot. So I came home, and we was eating, and I sat on the couch, and I was watching Netflix or whatnot. So then I started to get up, because I was in like excruciating pain. So I got up off the couch, because I'm like, what's going on here? Let me go find out. Let me walk around and make sure and calm myself down, because this hurt. Maybe I could walk it off or something. So then I started, I got up off the couch, and a big gush came out like. So I'm 28 weeks, and I'm like panicking, because I'm like, my water broke. Little did I know, I ran to the bathroom, and it was not water, it was blood. So I started panicking, because blood and pregnancy, that don't mix. Not to me, it doesn't mix. And I understand that people bleed in their some people bleed through their pregnancy, but I wasn't that case. And I was just shocked, because it was like beyond me, like what was going on. So then I started to panic, and we called the ambulance, and I got on the ambulance or whatnot, and they checked on me, and of course they took me on into the hospital, because I am a pregnant girl that was bleeding a lot. So they was like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Did you have sex? And all this type of stuff. They started asking me all this stuff, and I'm like, no. And I was just simply sitting on the couch. I got up, and I started bleeding. Like, I heard a big gush. I was in pain, and I started bleeding. So soon after I got to the hospital, I went to one hospital that the military kind of like runs or whatnot. And they was like, oh, your baby is 28 weeks. We're not going to be able to deliver your baby. Well, we could deliver your baby here, but your baby won't be here. So you'll be here, your baby will be somewhere else. Oh, no ma'am, no sir. I don't know what y'all got going on here, but I'm not about to be in one hospital. My baby about to be sent to another. Just go ahead, send me over to the other hospital, and I'll just deliver her there. So then, that's why I got to the other hospital. They checked me in, and I stayed in labor and delivery for 2 days. I stayed in labor and delivery for 2 days. I couldn't eat nothing. I was on a liquid diet for 1 day. So that was crazy to me. So then they finally released me the second day, like at nighttime, I want to say. And they was like, oh, you're not going through early labor because your cervix is not opening. We don't know why you are bleeding. So basically they couldn't tell me why I was bleeding. So by the second day, my bleeding had slowed down and it started to fade away. So by then I was like, okay, I would start panicking. Everything was fine. I was just having little contractions here and there. So they just kept monitoring me and stuff. So I went home and they gave me a doctor's appointment with the high-risk specialist. When I seen them, I was like 35 weeks. I think I had just turned 35 weeks, I want to say. It was like on a Friday. No, I was about to turn 35 weeks that Monday. So I went to them 34 weeks. And then I was like, I went and did my scan, and they scanned me. That scan that you do, I think like 26 weeks. I'm not sure. You do a big. So the scan that they did is that scan that they give you, and they try to check and make sure the baby is healthy, everything looks good, or whatever. They gave me another one. So the high-risk doctor already kind of like figured like, oh, it could be this, and she said you might have placenta accreta. So I was like, she said I might. She didn't say I have it. So I was just praying and whatever or whatnot, and just hoping that whatever she said I had, I didn't have it. So at this point, I'm like, what is placenta accreta? But so I get to the hospital and they do the scan. I get to my appointment and they do the scan or whatnot, and the nurse, she does it and she says everything looks normal. It doesn't look like you have placenta accreta. So she said you're gonna go in the exam room and you're gonna talk to the doctor. So I went in there, and then the doctor was like, nah, I wanna do the scan myself, because I want to make sure you don't have what they trying to say you have. I'm trying to make sure and be definite, because this is important when you go in labor and delivery. So then he goes in there, and then she's scanning me, and then he's watching, and he's telling her where to go, whatnot. Then he sits there, and then he's like, go over this side, go over that side, telling her where to go so he can make sure everything looks normal. So then he was like, oh, just what I thought. So then he's like, Miss Dennison, I'm gonna need you to get dressed and meet me in the examining room. And then me and the nurse that he was working with, we're gonna talk to you about what's going on with you. So then I'm like panicking. I'm like, what's going on with me? What you mean what's going on with me? So that's like something you don't want to hear when you're pregnant. So I go in the examining room. They sit me down at this table, and they was like, well, Miss Dennison, you have placenta accreta. So I'm like, placenta accreta? Y'all keep saying that. Well, what is it? So they was like, well, we're going to have to, you can't go full term. We're going to have to take your baby at 38 weeks. So I was like, you're going to have to take my baby at 38 weeks. Why? And they was like, you're not going to have a normal birth. You're going to have a C-section hysterectomy. So I was like, a C-section hysterectomy? Like, what? I know hysterectomy means you can't have no kids after that. So please come clear. So they basically just sat me down and like explained to me that my placenta was growing inside my uterus, and my placenta had to come out. If it didn't, then I would bleed to them. So that's when it comes to girls be bleeding to death and all that type of stuff, and they die because they didn't know they had these placenta accreta and all this type of stuff like that. And they was like, well, your placenta was growing and we had to take your whole uterus out, so we had to perform a hysterectomy on you. So then I'm like, what? So I'm listening, but it's like at this moment, I'm like, I started blocking everything out. Like I was hearing them, but I wasn't hearing them because that's something I did not want to hear. And I was just praying to God, like, please do not let this be the case. And I went home that day and I just like cried about it, and I was like, oh my God, it's like I can't have no more kids. Like, y'all don't understand how sad this is to me. Like, I can't have no more kids. Like, if I get married and I'm with my boyfriend and he want more kids, I can't even give him that because I have a hysterectomy. I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to do what God put me on this earth to do. Like, I really just had that shit snatched away from me real quick. Like, so I was just like really upset about the situation, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do. And they said it's to save my life, and it's no other choice. There's no other choice. So then the next day I got a call. No, that night I got a call, and they was like, Miss Dennison, we're gonna need you to come. We was taking a look at your scan, and we're gonna need you to come in tonight and stay in the hospital until we perform your surgery. What? You just told me you wasn't doing my surgery until 37 weeks. So how did you, couple hours, you want me to come in the hospital and stay in the hospital until I have my baby? So I'm like, okay, ma'am, I have other kids and I need to get them prepared. Can I come in tomorrow instead? I don't think nothing's going to happen that fast overnight. So she was like, yeah, I'll give you to tomorrow night, but we need you to check into the hospital because this is really important and we want to monitor you until you have your baby. So then I go to work, and when I went to work the next day, they had like a surprise like baby shower for me. So I went into work, I did the surprise baby shower. I went to my baby shower on one night, and then they was like, I had to tell my job like, oh, you know, I gotta be hospitalized, and after I leave here, I gotta go be in the hospital until I have my baby. So I went to the hospital that night. I checked in, and literally I sit there until it was time for me to have my baby. So I didn't sit there until 37 weeks. But they told me, they came in the room and they was like, we just decided to do your surgery Friday, which is December the 20th at 8 o'clock in the morning. So then I'm like panicking. I'm like, you told me 37 weeks. Now I turn around, you talking about Friday. I'm not understanding. So then a week passed by. I was in the hospital just sitting there every day, getting big and getting fat. I would like insert some pictures if I could. So the next day came 8 o'clock. No, I think I had to wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning so I could prepare for my surgery. And then so I go in there and they started to numb my body up. So I had to get epidural. I had to get like this stent. That's why I had this, because I had to have like a long stent like this long stuck down my neck all the way to my heart artery. So if they losing me, like basically if I'm losing too much blood, they can pump blood inside that tube so they can save my life. So y'all, I went through the most painful thing I could ever in my life. Like, that was the most painful thing ever to go through, and I won't suggest nobody to go through that. I won't want nobody. I wouldn't even want this on my enemy. Like, I was in there crying. I was bawling my eyes out to the point they was rubbing my back like, Miss Dennison, we're gonna be here for you. It's okay. This is just to save your life. Like, we want to make sure we on our P's and Q's about everything. We don't, we just want to be safe about everything when we go into your surgery. So then I'm crying. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'm like, it just hurts, and I'm like over it. And it was like, we understand. And I was like, when are y'all gonna be done? Like, like I'm crying historically. And then I go into the room. They pull me into the surgery room. And then, like, just think about like what happened on the movie. Like, everybody surrounding you. Like, it was like no lie. It was a good about 50 people in that room when I was having my surgery. Like, people were surrounding me left and right. You got people that's over there for when the baby come out, you hand it to them, boom. Then you got people that's doing my surgery and actually taking the baby out of me. You got people that's putting stents in my bladder so they could put like a wall up to protect my bladder so that when they do my hysterectomy, they won't damage my bladder. Then you got people that's coming in there and proceed to do the hysterectomy after they pull the baby out. Then you got people that numb me and make sure I'm numb enough and I can't feel everything. Then you got nurses in there to coach me on one side. I had a nurse on this side and I had a nurse on this side, and they was always asking me, are you okay? Like every second. Then you got people, so just in case like I started losing my life and I was actually losing so much blood, you got people that was in there for backup for people just in case these people could save me. I got these people to save me. So it was legit. If it wasn't 50, it was more. So this was like a movie. Like they had me on all types of light, like, and I was sitting on the bed, like, I mean, the little thing they have you on, like stretcher, and I'm like naked, and then like my shit was all open, and then it was like everybody was down there doing whatever, and I'm like panicking, and I'm like breathe. I hear myself breathe, like, and I was like looking around, and I was like, this is a fucking movie, like, this is crazy. In the amount of seconds, I can literally lose my life. Like, this is crazy. Like, I was so blown away. Like, y'all just don't understand. Like, it was literally off a TV show. So I was like, I was sitting down and I was like breathing. I was like, Miss Dennison, you okay? Respond to us. And I was like, I'm okay. I was like, and they was like, Miss Dennison, we're gonna tell you when we start cutting you, and proceeded to take the baby out. So that normal C-section cut, that little bikini cut, I didn't get that, sis. I didn't get that little slit. No, I didn't get that. They went right from my belly, on top of my belly button, all the way down, and then like cut me like that. So I had that big ass cut on my stomach, and that's how they had to cut me to get my baby out, because how she was positioned and how she was sitting, they had to cut me like that. So fast forward to so they started cutting me, and it was like cutting, and it was cutting, it was like, and I could feel them like touching me, but I couldn't feel the pain because I was so numb. So then I was like, so they cut me and they go, Miss Dennison, can you feel that? And I'm like, no. And it was like, can you feel it? And I was crying. I was like, no, I can't feel it. And it was like, what about now? I was like, So then I was just breathing, and I could hear myself like with the oxygen on me. And I was like, it was like I was breathing in the little oxygen thing. And then I was like, so then I heard them tugging me for a little bit. And then I felt them like, because I had C-sections before, so I know when they like pulling the baby out, because like a lot of weight like feel like it's been lifted off you. So like I felt when they like tugged me and like pulled the baby out, and then they was like, oh, that is so cool. So I guess they poured her out by the bag, and then they busted the bag, and then like the baby started crying. So she starts to cry, and then she was like, and that was it. So it wasn't like that cry like babies cry when they come out, they cry like, you know, like none of that. It was like that's all she gave us. So then they was like, oh, so they started panicking. Like, imagine me on the table, and then they promised me that they was gonna let me see the baby before they put me to sleep. But being that when she came out, she had so much complications, they just like kind of like rushed her over to the other side, and they was like, and I started panicking, and I'm like, the monitors and all that go beep, 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 like all around me. And then I'm like panicking. I'm like, let me see her. Is she okay? The next thing you know, they put another mask on top of me, and my ass was knocked out. I was gone. Like, they put me to sleep, and I don't remember nothing else. So when I woke up, I was in ICU. So I woke up in ICU, and her father and my sister came in, and they was like, are you okay? You know, they asked me, all the nurses and everybody that came in, they was like, yeah, Miss Dennison, when you came out, you woke up, you was telling everybody, thank you. Thank you. They said I was in the hallway and I was like, thank you. Because like, y'all don't understand. I was praying that whole time I was on that thing, that table thing. Because I was like, please, Jesus, I just want to wake up from this. I just want this movie. I just want this to go away. I do not want, I did not want to be in that predicament. But I had no choice. So I was like thanking everybody, and I was telling everybody, thank you for saving my life and all this type of stuff like that, like crying and telling people thank you. Plus I was just high as hell too, so I was doped up on so much stuff. So then they was like, so then I was in the bed, then I had to stay at ICU for I think 2 days. I want to say I had to stay at ICU for like 2 days. And then she was in NICU, so I couldn't see her. And then 2 days I came out of ICU. She was still in the NICU. I went up to see her for the first time. Y'all, I was in so much pain. They took like the epidural out and they make sure I can walk and make sure everything. And they rolled me upstairs, and it was like, and I seen her and I was like crying. I was touching her and I was like, oh my gosh, my beautiful daughter, and all this type of stuff. Like, y'all just don't know how it feels to have a baby and couldn't see them for the first 2 days of their life. That is not a good feeling. I did not like that. So then I like finally seen her, and then I went back to my room because like when I went to see her, I was so doped up, I was falling asleep. Like I was standing up and I was falling asleep, like over trying to watch her, and I was like dozing off. I was like going to sleep because I was so doped up that I couldn't function. So then I had to go back to my room and I laid down, and then my body in the inside, I was up, but my body wasn't fully awake because they gave me so much anesthesia. I think that's how you say it, anesthesia, yeah. That my body was still, it didn't wear off inside. So my bowel movements and stuff wasn't going the way it's supposed to be going. So I was drinking things, I was eating things, but wasn't nothing coming out. So then they had to put a tube down my nose for 2 days. So I couldn't come out the hospital in 3 days. I had to stay an extra 2 days. So I was in the hospital for 5 days. So I left the hospital Christmas Eve. So then I was like, I was in the hospital, and then they put a tube down my nose. Once they pumped everything out, and then I started doing everything God put me on this earth to do, my bowel movement started moving. And then they was like, I asked and I said, can I go home? And they was like, yeah, you can go home. And then, but my daughter wasn't able to come home with me. But Christmas came, and then the day after Christmas, she came home. So, yeah, that's it of my story. And she's healthy, and she's fat, and I wish I could show it to you, but she's asleep right now because it is late tonight. I think it is 12:02, and y'all will get to meet her soon, but just not this video. Thank you for watching me, you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please, y'all, leave a comment down below. And please give me y'all feedback. Please give me video ideas or things I can do besides get ready with me's and things y'all want to see from me. I got the energy. I'm telling you, I'm ready to show y'all who I really am. But thank you guys for watching. Bye.